know that I stay on the people and they see me looking bad. Baby, don't you break my heart, I told you that it's really glad. I'ma make it bad, singing if I think that's what they got. Just like the bad, I'm the victim, push up your eyes, singing out the black side. Good as you ever did, y'all motherfuckers do it for the hell it is. Say you're like what you want, but put them side by side, you die. What you want, by side you die. What you want. Can I follow you until you want me? What say? You want me? Papa, what say? That boy is mine. Baby, I'm a famous superstar. You love me, Papa, Papa, watching. Yeah, buddy. Okay, disconnect. Let's watch YouTube, I guess. Let's grab this bitch. Let's put it in my backpack. There we are. Now, what video should I watch? What video should I watch, dude? What video should I watch? No, not that, dude. What about Blossom HD? Okay. I'm hungry, so let's pause this and go look for a pizza place, basically. Ask someone around and yeah, go look for a pizza place. Here it is. Hey, welcome to Pizzeria. What pizza do you want? Yeah, hey, I want just a cheese and ham pizza. Cheese and ham? Come right up, just sit down. Okay. Do you want me to pay right now or after? After. Okay, cool. Let's sit down, I guess. Here you go. Enjoy. Thanks. Let's eat it, I guess. That is good. How much do I owe you? $20. Okay. 5, 10, 15. Okay, there you go. There's 20. Thanks. See ya. See ya. Let's, buddy, head to the same area. I guess I have to cut through this place. Okay, cut through. Watch YouTube like normal. Smoke some weed. And yeah, chill, I guess. Cause yeah, you know, may as well. I still can't believe I'm in Hawaii with my mum and my dad having a vacation in Hawaii, dude. Oh, I still can't believe it. Like, I just can't. I just cannot believe it, dude. Let's
Press play.
How important Columbus was to the franchise. He was arguably the most important singular voice in the Harry Potter film universe, even if his initial creations would be made better by other creatives as the years went by. And he knows his foundations were flawed.
If I could go back and do it again, I would love to go back and do it again, because I'd give myself more time to do the visual effects the way they should be done.
Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire are, in hindsight, the two films which stumble around the most as the series sought to find itself after Chris Columbus's departure. They're also two of the most controversial among the fan base, with both taking liberties fans still consider deal breakers. Alfonso Cuarón's Azkaban seems to be the most despised due to its tossing of important plot elements and the interpretations of some of the characters, while Mike Newell's Goblet of Fire makes curious changes like making the two foreign houses exclusively male and female, and exercising the entirety of the Quidditch World Cup. At the same time, they introduce important and haunting elements. Sirius Black and Remus Lupin make their debuts in Azkaban, while Goblet of Fire introduces Ralph Fiennes as the newly reborn Voldemort, who makes quite the impression by giving audiences one of the most heartbreaking moments in the franchise. Then came David Yates. Now, my personal opinion is that Yates films don't work quite as well on their own as the two previous entries. In fact, and I'm sure all the Potter fans in the comments will verbally rip my head off for this, I prefer Prisoner of Azkaban as a film. It just has a very specific, quirky feel that's entirely thanks to Cuarón's unique voice. However, even I can see that it just makes too many changes for a series that's meant to satisfy one of the biggest fan bases in the world at the time. When Yates comes around, the series becomes a little less wide-eyed, quirky, and more dark and serious, which, to be fair, is in keeping with the progression of the books as our young heroes enter into this vast world.
Let's go up and join, and then what up and join again. Okay, here.
What Yates does well is take these disparate elements, the wonder and uniformity of Columbus, the more prominent mix of modern elements from Cuarón, as well as his giving the actors plenty of leeway, and the more dark, monochromatic look of Newell. How much of this evolution is down to producer David Heyman is a bit up in the air, but the final product suggests that Yates saw the elements that worked and best informed his world and combined them for 4 films that feel polished and uniform. The major flaws have been ironed out, and the best elements from previous entries have been kept and integrated in such a way as to not overpower either the reader or strictly film viewer coming in. In a way, this is very much a Hollywoodized version. It's not taking any great risks like the Cuarón version, and instead is seeking to please as much of the audience as possible. And for a billion-dollar franchise with a pretty darn big audience, Harry Potter set the template for a whole menagerie of young adult adaptations, including Twilight, The Hunger Games, and Maze Runner. It also changed how fans saw the wizarding world, giving it new elements that would be readily folded into canon by Potter faithful. Heck, we're not even getting new books anymore. We're getting new movies, and no matter what you might think of the Fantastic Beasts films, goodness knows I have some thoughts, that's still one hell of a triumph, and it's thanks in no small part to the team who built the world of Harry Potter and brought an epic tale of magic, teen angst, and horrifying animatronic faces to the world.
Now, what video should I watch next?
There is a ton more to talk.
What video should I watch next on YouTube? May as well.
The fact that Futurama has been off the air for a number of years now doesn't seem to have had any effect on its devoted fan base. They remain vigilant as ever, and still come up with some of the craziest fan theories out there that might just change the way you think about the Planet Express gang entirely.
Ooh, wiggle in, get comfortable.
Fry's worms. In an early Futurama episode, episode, Fry winds up with a case of worms. But instead of making him sick like they normally would, they actually make him an extra cool, super talented version of himself that Leela falls in love with. He does get rid of them by the end of the episode, but some fans wonder if this episode was actually way more important in Fry's timeline than just a funny one-off. The theory goes that everything changed about Fry after that episode. He went from a lazy, immature party guy to someone who is more mature, hardworking, and motivated. But this didn't happen randomly. It happened because the worms actually showed him how much potential he had inside him. And when he saw that he could be someone who Leela could actually love, he decided on that day to try and better himself.
Yeah. I don't know why, but my life really turned around that day.
While he doesn't immediately become the smartest guy around, we can definitely see that after this episode, he really does start... start to develop into a really stand-up guy.
Eat my shorts.
Okay. Sure. Timeline trouble. It's fair to say that there is quite a bit of crossover between Futurama fans and fans of The Simpsons. But some fans think the similarities go beyond just those surface-level details, and share a bond that is much, much deeper. One theory out there wonders if Futurama and The Simpsons actually started out in the same universe.
Oh my God.
With the same timeline, but that at some point the two split and became their own separate timelines. Fans justify this theory by the multiple sightings of Futurama and Simpsons Easter eggs hidden in the background of each other's shows. Like in the Futurama episode, Hell is Other Robots. In it, Bender returns to Old New York, and on one wall we can see the initials MB and HS for Marge Bouvier and Homer Simpson, surrounded by a heart. We've also spotted the three-eyed fish, a Bart Simpson toy, a possessed Krusty the Clown, and then there was the time that the head of Matt Groening appeared at a Comic-Con and refused to answer questions about The Simpsons. All that plus the crossover episode is some pretty solid evidence. The real Bender. You might imagine that Bender has always been a full-time criminal who loves to party from the very beginning. But a fan theory actually poses some questions about whether or not that is the case. Some wonder if Bender only became the bot he is today after he met our friend Fry. The very first time we see Bender is when he's trying to end his life, after he finds out that he was being used in order to manufacture suicide booths, which a lot of fans have argued doesn't really fit with his whole character. The Bender we know probably wouldn't give a hoot what he was building, if there was a chance that it might make him rich. In fact, the more evil the better. But when Fry gets in the way of his attempt to off himself, the pair team up and take off before winding up being hunted down by Leela. It isn't until the moment that Bender is electrocuted by a faulty wire in the museum's Hall of Criminals that his personality appears to become different. This theory believes that this electrocution rebooted Bender, and because of his criminal surroundings, he became one himself. Hypnotoad. This theory might be a little harder to nail down, but it's so much fun that we wanted to include it anyway. Remember that whole Simpsons Futurama shared universe thing we talked about a minute ago? Well, this theory needs that one to work, so let's all say that it's true. Just for now. One of our favorite Futurama characters of all time might seem pretty unlikely. He doesn't talk, move, or really do anything at all. And yet, for some reason, we just can't stop thinking about Hypnotoad. And it seems we're not alone, as some fans have come up with this pretty amazing theory about his origins that we can't get enough of. The theory goes that the Hypnotoad actually evolved from the very same toad that Bart Simpson brought to Australia and released, causing a plague of toads in the Simpsons episode Bart vs. Australia. While the first toad was just a normal old toad, its introduction to a new landscape may have caused it to develop new abilities and continue to evolve. And over thousands of years, eventually it became the supreme being that we now know as Hypnotoad. His origins are never fully explained, or explained at all, in Futurama. So who knows? Anything's possible with Hypnotoad.
Let's get a nice feel to it.
Poor Zap. While we are maybe supposed to hate him for his arrogance and general stupidity, we can't help but just love Zap Brannigan. Especially since we just found out that he was supposed to be voiced by Phil Hartman, and that Fry is actually named after the late voice legend. Feel free to pause this video if you need to cry for a minute. On to the theory about old Zap. In an ideal world, the high-ranking captain of a government organization would hopefully be a qualified and intelligent person. well-equipped for their position after years of trusted service. But it's not an ideal world, and Zap is not exactly the man for the job, and fans have really started to question how he's been able to hang on to his position. Some believe that there was actually a time in which Zap Brannigan was the best man for the job, but something happened. We find out in Season 1 that he vanquished the Killbots by making the incredibly difficult decision to send every one of his soldiers into battle, which overrode the Killbot systems and defeated them. Fans wonder if he ever recovered from that trauma, and believe that he actually acts less smart in the hopes of being forced to retire. Anti-aging secrets. We get that having cartoon characters age along with the seasons of their show would be about as unnerving as it is that Luke from Modern Family is, like, uncomfortably muscular with a baritone voice now, and that is why Maggie Simpson has been a baby for nearly 30 years. But some fans think that when it comes to Futurama, there might be a real reason why none of the characters aged over the show's seasons. According to the chronology of the show, Fry was unfrozen at 25, and by the time the series finale rolled around, he was just shy of 40 years old. Or, 200 quindecillion if you want to be specific and confusing. He jumps around a lot in time, so let's just leave it at that. And yet, animation-wise, he never looks or acts older than his original age. Same with pretty much every other character on the Planet Express ship. And the popular theory among fans is that this is no coincidence. They believe that the Planet Express is actually letting off enough radiation in order to alter its inhabitants' DNA, enough to prevent them from getting older. The ship contains a lot of dark matter materials, which emit all that radiation, which also explains why Mom and her sons don't age either, because they own a company that produces the stuff. Hermes, or is he? A popular theory on the internet is that the chilled-out Hermes might actually be a double agent, planted on the Planet Express in order to gain intelligence about the goings-on of the crew in order to report them back to the government. Just think about it. Who better to avoid suspicion than a desk jockey whose #1 pastime is getting high and chillaxing? It's always the person you least expect, unless there's a butler. Then you know it's always the butler, right?
Come on,
Some
Fizz.
fans believe that Hermes is always moving back and forth between his
Let
shady
me try
governmental
to
organization
put it
and
on
the
the
Planet
ground.
Express, delivering
There
intel
we
about the
are.
crew's whereabouts and wheelings and dealings to his superiors. But what do they want exactly? Well, Professor Fox's inventions, of course. His ability to harness dark matter would be more than valuable in creating weapons, not to mention everything else he has going on. All of the water is turned to alcohol. Kip and Zap can be seen having a grand old time together, joking around and acting like anything but two co-workers who dislike one another. Some even believe that the reason Kip seems agitated at times is because he's just hungover. What if? Nobody likes it was all a character's dream or coma or fantasy theory. Nobody. And yet, when it comes to Futurama, there is one of those scenarios that is just impossible to ignore. And that is, of course, the what if machine. Get your grounds out now, folks, because we're talking about it, and the theory that goes along with it. In Season 2, the professor brings out an invention of his called the what-if machine, which allows the crew of Planet Express to see what could have hypothetically happened to them if they had made different decisions. We all have those questions, and we'd all love to be able to run scenarios on our questionable life choices rather than just having to make them. At the end of the episode, the professor sits thoughtfully, pondering all the possible what-ifs in the universe. This moment led some fans to wonder if all the other episodes of Futurama after this moment on were actually scenarios being run through the what-if machine. They say that the show really took off creatively after this moment, and that the increasingly fantastical and outrageous storylines can all be explained by the fact that none of them are actually happening in real life. Whew, we made it. That wasn't so bad, now was it? Illuminating theories. This theory states that Futurama is actually hiding a ton of subliminal messages in its episodes, and more specifically that those messages are from the Illuminati. But what are these messages, you may ask? Well, we'll tell you. Apparently, Futurama makes repeated references to the supposedly significant date, October 4th, 2012, using the numbers on a table full of billiard balls. It's a little too complex to get into here, but suffice it to say, the world didn't radically change on October 4th, 2012, so who knows what the Illuminati was trying to tell us? Well, okay. They didn't stop after that date, though, and apparently have been hiding dates and information all through the remaining episodes of both Futurama and The Simpsons ever since. The creators of these theories are adamant that because Matt Groening is behind both shows, that he must must be the one with the powerful Illuminati connection. Though we may never know what he's trying to tell us. Possibly that he's a time traveler. But that is a theory for another day.
Scruffy's work here is done.
Who knew Futurama could be so much more than just one of our favorite sci-fi cartoons? Did you know all of these fan theories? Or do you have any awesome ones that we just have to know about? Let us know in the comments section below, and we hope you had fun watching.
I cannot believe it. It's been 2 years. I'm back at Miami now, and my family got a new house. They moved to another part of the pool area because my mom and my dad had 2 kids, basically. A daughter and a brother. This is my room. This is my sister's room, bathroom, my brother's room, and then in here is my parents' room. So yeah, my parents' room. Down here is the dinner table, and here is the lounge room, kitchen, storage area, and laundry, of course. So yeah, we moved to another part of the pool area. Bigger houses, but it's a pool area too. See here, look, bigger fucking house. Bigger houses, but there is still crime here. There is not much, but there is still crime in this area of the poor area. So yeah, this is my room, my new room. Let's chill, watch YouTube, smoke some weed.
Welcome back, friends, to Skyrim Mods 1 Everly. I went diving again into the deep depths of the big tethered follower mods on the neck.
And oh yeah, just a couple of days and I graduate high school. Then I go to, I'm in middle school. Just a couple of days and I graduate middle school. And then when I go to high school after that. So yeah, I cannot wait until I go to high school. Oh, hell yeah. I cannot wait until I go to high school, dude. Look at this place, dude. Yeah, buddy.
And I came up with the ship series. I will never forget about it. We have a whole
Let's
set
have a
of
join
brand
again.
new mods. I'm excited to get into this. Roll the intro.
Yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah, dude.
It is time for the official review of arguably the best Skyrim follower in the past half year, the one and only Mauer, the fully voice-acted half-dragon follower. You can find Mauer at her house. That's right, she has a house south of Riverwood. Go inside and you'll find her doing some alchemy. So Mauer's gonna be probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing followers you've ever laid your eyes upon. She's also a bitch.
Is it this time?
but I guess it's okay. She had a disturbing past. It's unclear exactly what happened to her. She was in a coma, she woke up, Alduin was on top of her. Did Alduin have hot, scandalous, interspecies copulation with a Nord? The world will never know where Mara came from. But most likely, hot, interspecies copulation. I don't even know why I'm saying hot. It's probably super disturbing. There is one peculiar thing that you'll find upstairs. She has a fucking Alduin portrait upstairs with a heart on top of it. Either she loves Alduin as a father or she wants to fuck Alduin. But I'm pretty sure it's the latter. I hope it's the latter. For her sake. I don't know what Alduin's penis looks like, but I hope it doesn't look like the rest of his body. Mauer doesn't like you.
It's just you.
She will never like you. There's no quest to make her like you. None of your interactions with her will be pleasant, but she's pretty to look at. She's also not bad at combat, but can she take a wereboard? Didn't think so. Oh wait, no, she actually got. Can she take on a were-crocodile? Nobody can take on the were-crocodile, except for, actually, not gonna spoil it, but something later in this episode can definitely take on the were-crocodile. But not only is her face beautiful, but her armor is beautiful as well. It's actually very protective and very tasteful, which is everything this next one isn't. This is the Nexus we're talking about. There's always a slutty option, but I personally am in love with the first option. And finally, her last distinguishable feature is her tail. She does things with her tail that usually revolves around her spazzing out and whipping everybody in the face. But it's okay, it just means she's excited to be here. Next up, we have a monster mod by the name of Beast of Tamriel. This mod adds over a dozen mythical creatures found in the Elder Scrolls lore to the world of Skyrim. Some of them are pretty normal. For example, we have boars, several different kinds of boars. Then we have the were-shark. This thing will come out of the water at night and eat your children alive. So hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your husbands, cause they're raping everybody out here. I don't know about you guys, but the were-shark is just about the most majestic creature I've ever seen, aside from Tommy Wiseau. Mother of God, just look at those tail physics. Absolutely stunning. But yeah, lycanthropy is actually a curse created by the Daedric Lord Hircine, which caused the infected to turn into a monster. The werewolf is the most popular one, but in High Rock, the legend says there are were-boars. And elsewhere, you can find were-lions. There are were-crocodiles from Blackmarsh, and Valenwood has were-vultures. Then you have really cute things like snails and slugs and dodo birds. They're near extinction, but you should kill them because they give you very valuable meat. Then you have some other weird shit like chimeras. They have issues. Lots and lots of issues. You have giant flying roosters called cockatrices. You have giant frostbirds called frostrocs. And not Anivia. The variety here is unreal. The creatures even more unreal. Literally, like, how are these things even real? Everything added by this mod is lore friendly. They're talked about NPCs in game. They're found in books, but do they belong in Skyrim? Sure, a were-shark could have swam from another province in Tamriel and somehow got lost and ended up in Skyrim. Anything can happen. These creatures are really cool looking. It's really cool running into them, and that's all that matters. So, since we featured Mauer in this episode, a lot of you guys might be wondering, how do I become a half-dragon? That's right, we're about to take a look at Mauer's skin mod, a mod that came out a long time ago, but I never had time to fit it into an episode. This is Born Dragon, a skin mod that makes it look like you may have been the result of hot, scandalous, interspecies coitus. You are literally dragonborn. So what this guy did is he basically took the fair skin complexion mod, which is actually my skin mod of choice. He blended it with Argonian skin textures and created new normal maps to make it look like these scales are sticking out and that there are ridges in your skin. Now, to make sure that the skin does not get applied to every NPC in the game, you also want to use custom races. And this skin is also available for male characters. For the males, he used Noon Males by Sundrakan. I think it looks really good. Do you ever feel like Skyrim's animations are stiff, generic, and just getting old? Yeah, well, I have some news for you. A man named Furiton has begun a new modding project aimed at redoing every single animation in Skyrim. You may remember his spellcasting animation mod from episode 202. He's now moving on to idle animations.
I start
This
back
is
at school
realistic
tomorrow.
animation project Idols. So this mod has a whopping 16 new idle animations, each of them clocking up to 2 minutes long. That's 18 minutes of animation. To put that into perspective, vanilla animations last 7 to 8 seconds. But MXI, what's the point of having so many different animations when you can only use one at a time? But that's where you're wrong, Jimmy. There's actually a mod that you can download called Play Random Idle that will allow you to have all of these idols in your game, and then to randomly choose one every time you
days
idle.
off
That means it is
until
theoretically possible
I go to high
idle
school.
up to
I
18
basically
minutes
already
and never
graduate
repeat an animation.
the
And
middle
because these
school.
idols aren't intensely
So
flamboyant, fruity,
I
or
am
feminine,
having a
half of
couple
these
of days
idols
off
can
and
be
then
used
starting
for
my
males,
first day at
unless
high
you want to
school.
be a feminine male. You can make that happen. It's refreshing to
So,
see female
yeah.
idol animations that are not her groping herself
year
and acting
is-
sexual like she's about to finger bang herself. These are some of the
The
most
year is
realistic
now
idols I've seen. I can confirm I've done some
2013.
of these actions before while just standing still. So
13.
good job, Pearson, and I look forward to the next
So,
animation
yeah,
in
the
your
year is
realistic
2013
animations project.
now.
Next up, we have a new combat mod called Wildcat by Endai Sayayan, a mod that makes enemies fight like they're truly fighting for their lives. In the vanilla game, enemies are fairly relenting
oh
and
yeah,
offer ample opportunity
my
to
mom
exploit
and
your lack of
my
initiative.
sister.
Sometimes it feels like they're really not even trying to kill you. Take a look at this assault on my lamp. I've seen many
My dad
assaults on my
doesn't
lamp, but
care.
none as ferocious
He
and
told
unrelenting
me
as this one. This mod also increases
my mom
damage dealt
is
and
his
damage
cousin.
taken across the board. This
So,
makes combat feel more
yeah.
fast-paced,
He
visceral,
doesn't care,
deadly, and
basically.
realistic. Knowing that you can go from full health to nothing increases the intensity
And they are
of every fight.
pregnant now.
Making sure your health stays high is now of high importance. As the
We
lower your health
are-
gets, the more damage you
my
will
mom
actually
and my
take.
dad
So
and my
once you
sister
start taking damage, the damage is going to start coming
having
a
a
lot quicker,
boy
and
and a
before you know
girl.
it, you'll be dead just like that. Taking
They're
damage
not in
also
labor
means
yet,
you
but
will
they
have
will
a
be
chance of
soon.
suffering an injury. Both the player and the NPCs have a chance of suffering 14
My mom
different injuries.
is
For example, if you're
30
suffering a
years
stomach
old.
injury, all bashes
Well,
and heart attacks will always
my
stagger
sister
you. Suffering a knee
is
injury will allow all unblocked
9
heart
years
attacks and
old.
bashes to knock you down. So basically,
So,
you really don't
yeah.
want to get hit when this mod is on. So it'll of course also reward you for being defensive and evasive. Timing a block within 1 second of an
You
opponent's
know,
attack will trigger a timed block.
I'm
Timed
gonna have
blocks
kids,
mark 20% more
basically.
damage and will
My mom
stagger
and
your
my
opponent as well.
sister
There's also a bunch
will
of
be
other
my baby
modifiers
mama
that is
too.
added that you can read more about in the description. But the point is, combat is way more intense than in the vanilla game. You really have to stay focused and thinking, which makes
So,
combat
yeah.
a lot more fun. And that is it
Basically,
for this
I'm gonna
episode,
have
guys. Hope you enjoyed all the
probably
mods featured
incest
in
kids.
this episode. This series
But
is
I don't
not
care.
over yet, as
Fuck it.
long as there are new great mods. I will keep making these for as long
It's still
as my heart
kids.
beats. I shouldn't say that.
So, yeah,
Peace out,
I'm
guys.
happy.
Looking for some cheap games?
They're
Check
still
out
kids,
gtoy.com. Use
so,
my code
yeah.
MXR for 3%.
I'm bloody happy
There's a link
I'm
down
having
below.
a kid. Kids, basically. So, yeah, I'm happy I'm having kids.
When road tripping,
I am not gonna ask them
fuel
to
regularly
get abortion
and let it.
because what's the point?
Tassie.
I want
Cheddar.
kids. Even though my kids are probably deformed and disabled now, I don't care. They're still kids. For fuck's sake, they're still human. Plus
Warning.
try,
This episode may be incredibly offensive. If you're easily triggered, then
so
please stay.
yeah,
I want to see
you
the
know,
shitstorm in the comments. In fact, it might be so bad I might even have to delete this video. I'm just dramatizing. Or am I? Sit back, grab your Vaseline for no reason, and enjoy the video. Peace! Roll the intro.
so yeah, pretty much, you know, I made my sister and mum pregnant, basically.
A long time ago, during the Second Era and the time of the plane meld, whatever the fuck those are, adventurers sought out whatever power they could gain to
My
aid in
mum
their battle
and
against
my
Moloch
sister
Ball. Among these
is
items were
having
something called
a
Sky
son
Shards,
and a daughter.
made by the gods. Todd Howard, but that's
And I
Cinemax,
told
for those
them
dedicated to exploring all of
when
Tamriel. Once a feature
our
only
daughter
available in the Elder Scrolls
turns
Online. Arfmore has so graciously brought it
1
to
year
Skyrim.
old, I have to
present
have
you
sex with
ESO
her,
Sky Shards.
and then
One that
the
has
son,
66 Sky Shards across Skyrim, including all areas added by Dawn.
1 year old, they
When I
have
saw
to
my
have
first
sex
Sky
with
Shard,
him,
my endorphins
basically.
rushed, my serotonin levels
And
rise.
yeah, they said
my body
okay.
was ready to receive 1/3 of a perk point. That's right, friends. These aren't just beautiful rock-hard crystals. You can activate them. The gods' Howard screams in the sky. The shard loses its luster, and for every 3 of these you activate, you gain 1 perk point. But
I come inside of that fucking pussy
Skyrim is
block.
huge. Finding 66 of these scattered
And I
evenly
made
throughout the
my mum
continent
and my
is no
sister
easy task
scream.
and will probably require an entire playthrough.
The
At which
neighbours
point,
probably
22
hear
perks
it.
won't make much of a difference. What was kind of weird to me, though, was that one of them was inside the Whiterun prison.
So,
I find
yeah,
it a little
pretty
hard
much,
to
you
believe
know.
that nobody did anything about that. But that's not even the worst offender. There's one on top of Ulfric's throne, for God's sakes. Ulfric, do you even know what you're cuddling right now? Just kidding, I put that there. Now, I know what the lore scholars are gonna say. MXR, what the fuck, man? But these things are lore-friendly. ESO isn't canon to the series. Well, you know what? Your mom's not canon to the Elder Scrolls lore. Come at me, bros. Don't think too much about it. It's a fun addition to the game.
don't
It's
care.
always exciting to run into
My
one of
mom
them,
is
and
a
it'll definitely
sure.
make your next playthrough a little more interesting. You know, spell
I
swords
fucked up.
are arguably one of the most
Rockadoodle
popular
Skank,
builds
she
in
is.
Skyrim. Everybody and their mothers is playing a spell sword. But are you really playing a spell sword? I don't think so, friend. Not unless you have the mod. Spell sword. A mod that allows you to enchant your weapons with spells so that you don't
And, oh
have
yeah,
to
I
unequip your weapon
also
just to cast a spell. There are
knocked.
2 ways in which you can learn the enchantments. Number 1, find
Knock, knock, knock. Wonder, who could that be? Oh, hey sister. Hey, Dion, can I come in? Sure. Thanks, Dion. I guess may as well turn the music, basically. Connect the music. My parents, they're at work. So, yeah. My sister doesn't start school until she turns 12 years old. That's when middle school, basically. Here's a joint of smoke. KD. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay, next. What songs to play? What song should I play? Yes, this one. Next. I love the song.
Young money.
Me too. Different flavors.
I wish that I could
Taste them on the night. Being a friend.
So you should
You know your friends. You're my type. Yeah. Wasted. Ooh. Yeah. The reason why I knocked them out and raped them is because they let me. They give me permission. Okay, press play again. So, Katie, what's up? Gonna fuck again? Sure, why not? Whatever. Cool, sister. You can go out. Sure. Love you, babe. Love you too, Katie. Can I call you Daddy? Sure, sister. Thanks, Daddy. Take a shit. I'm sleeping. So,
word to the Dalai Lama, he know I'm a fashion killer. Word to John Galliano, he cupping that Valentino. Ain't no telling me no, I'm that bitch that he know.
Can you please knock me out and rape me? Papa Daddy can't call him. Sure. Thanks, everybody. You're welcome. Katie. Love you, babe. Love you too, babe.
My shit slapping like dude did LeBron nuts.
Shimmy, Tell the camera how many guys you slept with. You? 151. Oh yeah? She's scared. See? I get around the city pretty much. Yep, you do, skate. Hey. Okay, next. This one, please. Sure. Hey, babe. Yeah. Can you make me gag? Sure. Thanks, babe. I love you so much. Daddy, brother. You're welcome, Katie.
Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop. Put this wet ass pussy. Give me everything.
This cat for this wet ass pussy.
Beat it up, nigga, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
And you have to fucking go cook me a pizza. Got it?
Look at my eyes.
Yes, got it, master. Good.
Sign me up like I'm surprised. That's roleplay. I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it cream, make me scream. I don't public, make the scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
And you have to clean my room. Got it? Got it, master? Cool.
I have a nigga running me, talk your shit. Bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that dick. When you really ain't never got him fucking for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots, hang your coat, put this wet ass pussy. Keep on a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy. Now make it rain if you wanna see some wet ass pussy. Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep stroke, I need a Henny drink, I need a weed smoke, not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it, hope it lean over. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Pussy A1, just like his credit. He got a beard when I'm tryna wet it. I didn't text him, now he diabetic. I don't wanna spit, I wanna go, I wanna gag, I wanna choke, I wanna want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging the back of my throat. My head can misfire, Punani the sun, he's going and drying, he's coming outside, yeah, I'm running that down, the collars behind me, I spit on his mic and I hear trying to sign me. Yeah, I'm a freak bitch, handcuffs, leashes, switch my wig, make a
My
like
body
a put him on
is
the
yours.
some to believe in, never lost a
My
fight, but
stuff.
I'm looking for a beat. In a food chain, I'm
Babe,
when they eat
brother.
it, my ass, he's about a
Okay.
big
Well, you
face,
cannot
big demeanor, how to make
cut
a
me
bust
up,
before I ever
basically.
meet you. If it
You
don't
got
hang,
me?
then it can't bang, you
Yeah.
can't hurt my feelings, but
I'm
I
not
like
like that,
pain.
so,
Fuck me,
yeah.
ask who's Izzy when I ride the dick, come
Okay,
spell
good.
my name.
Baby, daddy. Cool. Love you. Love you too.
And I'm up with this wet ass pussy. Give me everything.
Next. 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 Fuck off, Edge. Next. 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 Different places for you, baby daddy. So, baby mama, baby sister, Katie. Thanks. It's super simple, if I was to pick up the tempo. Sorry. Oh, good. Come to my rescue. Oh, I'm good. There's something new for you. Want me? I'm away. You're okay. Should be outside. Never guaranteed. But for you, I wish you would go out with me. Because I fucking love you. I love you ever since we first met, brother. I love you too, sister. Thanks, Daddy. You're welcome, baby mama. There's something new for you. And tell the camera how many guys Mum struck with. Accusing you? 9,099. She said, Dad, Like, she's a better skank than me. She's a queen of skanks. Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you hear that come on? But Dad doesn't care. Hey, baby. Yeah? When he walked in with me and you, he asked, can I join in? And we said yes. He fucked me in the bum. Will you fuck me? Will you give me, blowjob? Yeah. And same with Mum, pretty much. You fucked her in the anal and pussy. Well, your dad gave her. Well, your mum give your dad a blowjob. Yep. Yeah. So my dad doesn't care. He loves incest sex. Yep. Just for you, just for what I do to you. Love me in bed. Thanks, Daddy. Babe, brother. You're welcome, baby mama. Love you. Love you too.
Arch for my baby, arch for my one time. I just wanna see it in the air. Welcome in, baby, show me what they neck do. I'ma show you ass that I'm the best. Brand new opposite of what your ex do. Turn your body on just from a text. 23, but we fucking like the 80s. Pop another pill just to relax. I know you want it, but you know you shouldn't date me. I'm the type to bring a lot of stress.
Hey, baby.
While I go down to your kitchen, open up your legs and start kissing. Breathe for me while I switch up the position.
Can you
bitching. Breathe for me while I treat your body right. But the love
what's it again? I don't know what.
Breathe for me while I hit it from the back. Camera time, I'ma show you how to act.
Give me a second, let me think. Oh, good.
By the mom, girl, that pussy gon' be numb. Let the kitty eat the cucumber. Pass the clit, I'ma rub it with my thumb. Yeah, high as fuck like we don't got no ceiling. Give me ass exactly what you like. Lay you down, I won't hit it one time. Even though one time is all you need. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that lotion. Let me lay you down and get you wetter than the ocean. Oh shit, yeah, let me dive up in it. Laying in the bed and now we swimming. Breathe for me while I go down to your kitchen. Open up your legs and start kissing. Breathe for me while I
My girlfriend is coming over,
right?
Yeah.
Breathe for
And
me
she's
while I
her
treat you
cousin.
right, but the love you
Right?
take flight.
Yeah.
Breathe for
Can
me
you
while I
fuck
hit
off
it
for
from the
me?
back. Camera time, I'ma show you how to act.
Sure.
Breathe.
Cool.
Breathe.
And if she doesn't want to, rape her, pretty much.
Breathe.
Because she will enjoy it. She will enjoy it probably better than normal sex. That's how she get turned on the girlfriend, babe. Oh yeah. So you have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, me. Yeah. Cool. I'm bisexual women. I'm short, basically. So, how many women have you slept with? None. I only slept with my girlfriend, but men, I like to fuck other men. But girls, no. I like to always fuck one. Oh, good. And go out with one girl. Like you. You're the only one that I care about, pretty much. Who I want to go out with. I feel a connection with you. Me too. I feel a spark.
23, but we fucking like the 80s. Pop another pill just to relax.
That's why I let you go out with me, pretty much. If I didn't feel a spark, then I wouldn't go out with you. Me too, because normally when I fuck girls, it's one night stand or whenever I get horny. And with them to, you know, carry, like raise the kid basically on their own. Me too. Cool. I know what, babe. You're welcome. Hey, babe. Yeah. There you go. Really far in my pussy? Sure. Thanks, babe. You're welcome. Did you know if you have sex with me since I'm pregnant, let's say if you come inside me, what, daddy? Yeah. Our female kid will get pregnant. Well, she is. And our daughter will get pregnant. Well, she is in my belly. Smart idea. Yeah, so that's a smart idea. Instead of fucking her when she's born, fuck me, and you fuck her pretty much in my belly. That's why I want you to go really far to my pregnant spot. Basically, baby. Good idea. I know what, daddy. So yeah, so you know, when she's coming over. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not the next day, but the next day, okay. So, yeah. Okay, now I know. What, daddy? Yeah, buddy.